So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today we have Adventure Comics number 331, published in April 1965, with story by Jerry Siegel and art by James Mooney. And this is part 3 of a 4-parter, and I've already said I do not like this story, so buckle up because this is where things really go off the rail. Featuring Saturn Queen, Cosmic King, and Lightning Lord in the triumph of the Legion of Supervillains. I think this is only their second appearance. We've destroyed your fellow members of the Legion of Superheroes. You're next, Superboy. Behold your tombstone. Gasp! My legionary friends all dead. What terrible weapon will these supervillains use against me? So throughout the universe in the 30th century, the mighty members of the Legion of Superheroes are famed as the greatest champions of justice. But now comes the shattering news that the Legionnaires have been expelled on various charges, yet there are even greater shocks in store when the superheroes are replaced by the most infamous criminals in the cosmos, and it seems nothing can prevent the triumph of the Legion of Supervillains. So, this guy, Dynamo-Boy, new member of the Legion of Superheroes, basically expelled every Legion member, which is ridiculous. So now he's going to create an all-new Legion, but he wants villains, even though he's presenting it as the regular Legion. Who are you? I am Golden Boy. See, I have the remarkable ability of being able to change anything into gold. Good, eh? So the Dynamo Kid doesn't like it because, Boy doesn't like it because he would destroy the value of gold. But also, he's basically Element Lad if Element Lad's ability was extremely limited. And then we have this other guy who radiates a terrible smell, and he's rejected. I am Animal Lad. I can turn humans into beasts or make wild creatures tame. See, I turned that fellow into a bear, but I'll make him human again at once. So that's actually a pretty strong power, but he gets rejected because this blue aura reveals that he is pure of heart, so can't be turned evil. Get lost, Animal Lad. Next applicant. I am the Tusker. Observe my fangs closely. So he's able to shoot out his fangs, which is quite impressive, until he gets stuck in a tree, and so he is also rejected. All of these characters, these weird, wild characters, will reappear decades later in part of the massive Legion of Supervillains. A strange craft materializing suddenly. It's landing. So out step the Legion of Supervillains. I am Cosmic King. My companions are Lightning Lord and Saturn Queen. Our time machine has brought us here from a few years in the future. We formerly belonged to the Legion of Supervillains. Okay, so now we get even more crazy because we've got the Legion of Supervillains from the future now coming into the 30th. Well, it's all the it's very confusing. But have no fear, we have reformed. We've journeyed into the past because we want to join the Legion now at a time when we won't be known as criminals. So he sees they have a purple aura, which means they are evil. So Dynamo Boy wants them to demonstrate their powers, and Cosmic King shows his first. He has the power of super transmutation and can transform lead bullets into harmless sponge pellets. And then he goes through his whole backstory on how he was given the power. He's a Venusian. He was given the power to transmute through an accident, but I guess transmutation is considered evil on Venus, so he was thrown out, and says he'll return someday and show them. If you have the power to transmute, I don't think you need to resort to crime. So then Lightning Lord shows his power. Okay, so it says he asks for a useless object, and Dynamo Boy says, since Chameleon Boy is no longer a member of the Legion, this statue of Proty 1, his first protoplasmic pet, who sacrificed his life to restore Lightning Lad to life, is useless. Wow, you're bursting it into fragments with lightning bolts, Lightning Lord. So that's kind of cruel. Poor Proty 1. I mean, this is just a statue, but I've always liked the look of Lightning Lord. He looks kind of like a cross between David Niven and Walt Disney. So he goes through his backstory, which The backstory has changed over time, but we've kind of settled on the fact that Lightning Lord, his brother, and sister all got given lightning powers. And then Saturn Queen, who was good at the end of her last appearance, but she's clearly evil again. She produces this massive sun. Yeah, the sun is falling. It's huge. We'll be burned to cinders, Saturn Queen. Ha ha. Don't be afraid. That's a manifestation of my super hypnotic power to create amazing hallucinations. There, I've canceled the hallucination. You see, I'm from Saturn, which is crime-free and where everyone can perform amazing mental feats. Now, okay, so she should have exactly the same powers as Saturn Girl, but I've never seen Saturn Girl show super hallucinations, so I feel like they're trying to just differentiate her. So he accepts them and gives them Legion and flight rings, and they're just really excited. Sure thing, pal. Hand them over. We're in. And then they fly off. So even though the Legion of supervillains are extremely powerful, none of them can fly. So now they can. Okay, Legionnaires, start patrolling Earth. Use your superpowers to help people in need fight evil everywhere. So as they fly off with their flight rings, they are approached by the Legion of Substitute Heroes. Stop. Our monitor showed us what happened. You may have fooled Dynamo into thinking you were formed, but we're on to you, supervillains. How would she know? They're from the future. How would she know anything about the Legion of Supervillains? That is, I would say, a plot hole. But things are going to get really bad now. I'm Stone Boy. I've just turned my fist into stone. It will rock you when it connects with your jaw. Try. I've never seen Stone Boy able to turn just a part of his body into stone. In fact, I think the whole point of it is that his entire body becomes stone. But it gets worse. Youch! What happened? My stone fist turned back into ordinary flesh and blood again. But your jaw turned to stone. Haha, with my power of super transmutation, I changed my jaw into stone and returned your fist to normal. Surprised? Oh my god. So, one of the things, Firestorm has a very similar power, kind of the same power, but he can't affect living material. So this is a little bit of like body horror with just, I doubt either of these powers ever are shown again. I don't think Stone Boy is ever shown to be able to turn part of his body to stone. And I mean, that makes Cosmic King even more devastating. So 3 of them attack Lightning Lord, but he is able to fight them all off. Haha, Lightning Lord fears no one. My lightning bolts are shattering the great weeds. They can do the same to you. So I don't understand how he's also able to repel Polar Boy and Fire Lad's attacks, but I guess he does. My super strength only functions when there's no sunlight. After the shadow bomb blots out the sun rays temporarily, I'll capture you and your rascally friends. Again, I've never seen her. She's never used any kind of blackout bomb, shadow bomb. The blackout bomb was something used by Dr. Midnight. So, I mean, that certainly would be helpful to her, but I don't think that ever gets used again. You're glowing as brightly as Sun Boy. Is that solar glare? In that solar glare, I have no super strength. Chuckle, little does she know my super brilliance is another of my hallucinations. She hasn't lost her power, but she thinks she has. So this, again, I don't know how that works. Beat it, Substitute Legion, before I have the science police arrest you. You're nothing but a bunch of Legion rejects who are interfering with authentic Legionnaires. I don't believe those villains ever formed Dynamo-Boy. Again, I don't know how they know that they were ever villains. So they fly off. I'm so ashamed. All we did was make fools of ourselves. Maybe we acted so foolishly because we are just feeble imitations of the real Legion, which doesn't exist anymore. Remember, we were all rejected when we tried to join the Legion. That's why we formed our own club. Actually, Stone Boy was eventually accepted and declined. Why are you laughing at us? It's unkind as well as puzzling. Ha! You could drop the goody-goody airs because of a secret device I've known from the very start, that all 3 of you are as villainous as ever. And I'm even more crooked than you. Ha ha. Here's the pitch, pals. During the daytime, we'll do good deeds, see? But at night, it'll be a different tale. We'll secretly rob the whole universe to our heart's content, and nobody will suspect us. The clean, upright, noble Legion of superheroes. And I guess the regular Legion, all the ex-Legion members just gave up and went home. So that's part 3, and we'll get to part 4.